Hey, welcome back. This week I'm adapting this old Cub Cadet Rototiller attachment. This came off of a 682 model. My dad's had forever. And I got a hydraulic motor here. I'm going to hook it to this universal plate for a skid steer so that I can use it with my skid steer to do some tilling out in the yard. I get tired of a boring old plain green yard, and it's pretty big. So I plant native wildflower seed out there, attracts lots of birds and stuff like that. Put some color in the yard throughout the summer. So I got a big spot I'm gonna plant this year. I got 25 pounds of seed. So I really don't care to do that with the hand tiller. It'll take me 3 days. So this should only take an hour or two. So I've been wanting to do this for a long time anyway. So now I just got to figure out how I'm going to mount this thing on. So one thing I'm trying to do with this is to not ruin the value of this tiller. These things are collectible. I just want to be able to use it with my skid steer. So I don't really want to modify any of this stuff if I can manage it, because I have all the attachments and everything for the mower. If someone wants to give me a stupid amount of money for it, they can have it. I'll figure something else out. I want this offset to one side pretty good. That's so when I'm tilling, I'm going to be driving backwards, pulling it. And that way, all the wheels for the machine are on ground that's the same level. In my case, it'll be undisturbed dirt. So you won't be sitting like this and tilling crooked or anything like that. And having it about, looks like probably 8-9 inches over there, that'll give me enough room that I can go around curves and stuff without the machine falling into the prior track that I made with the tiller. This is designed to have some float in it. So it's the weight of the machine itself that does the work, and so you don't overload anything is what my guess is. I don't know for sure. I'm sure the engineer that made this is long dead. But it ought to work pretty good. Uh-oh. I wonder if that's going to be a problem. Because it moves, I can't just stick an arm here to hold my hydraulic motor. That's a bummer. I might have to work out something different for that. Guess it could still be belt drive, and I could put my motor down here. Question is, where's the center point? They had these down lower on the machine. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe there's a center line that these are supposed to be on. Great. I don't know. I'm gonna do some measuring. I ain't gonna worry about it today. I'll figure it out tomorrow. Hey, it's about a week later. I decided to go with, I'm going to direct mount the motor here with a chain coupler. It's a type of flexible coupling. You can't just use a collar on these kinds of machines a lot of times, because if your motor isn't perfectly aligned with whatever the shaft is, it'll bend the shaft a little bit all the time, and eventually that metal will fatigue and break. So you want to use a flexible coupling. I'm using a chain coupler in this case, as opposed to one of the ones with the rubber insert, because I actually want something that's going to hold the motor here in place after I put it on, so that I can actually weld up and build a mount that's going to hold the motor while it's here. I'm just going to fit it in place is what the plan is. So when you use one of these chain couplers, the number one thing is you got to really grease the heck out of it. It even comes with this casing here that'll go around the coupler. It has O-rings to help hold the grease inside. So I've got my coupler put on the tiller and on my hydraulic motor. So I'm going to head and grease this up and get it put together. You want to get the face of this because the two faces are going to match up, and you do want lubrication in between those. You also want to get the teeth greased really well, since that chain is going to be moving around on there all the time. I've already got my steel plate with the flange mounted on the motor here, so that I'll be able to weld to it. There's my chain. Wow, that seems a link short. I see it. Boy, this one's cantankerous. There we go. There we go. There's the master link in place. So the next thing that I need to do is fill this shell for this coupling up with a lot of grease, because then you put these O-rings on the side like this, on both sides, like that, and then bolt these together. And you can see they got a cork gasket on here, so the whole idea is that to keep the grease inside, because this has to be really well lubricated or it'll just wear right out. Now I know the motor's kind of sagging right now. That's okay, because I'm going to hold it in place where I want it when I measure to make my pieces. Well, it's been a while since I put one of these together. You can't put your O-rings on after you put it together. So I got to take this back apart, take these couplers off of here, and slide my O-rings on. That was stupid. I don't do this every day. Okay, got that stupidity over, got my O-rings on here. So now I can start putting this thing together properly. Alright, that should be just a little too much grease, which is what you want. Takes care of all the air pockets and stuff, well, hopefully. Then make sure, so you got cork gasket each on only one side, so you want those opposite. There we go. It's squeezing out a bunch of grease on this side. And that O-ring's not where it ought to be. That's better. How about the back one? The back one is good. All right. right, that's how you install a chain coupler the wrong way the first time. And then the right way the second time. I recommend doing the second one first. Certainly will save you a lot of time. There, so you can see there's plenty of play there, and that's what you need. So if things aren't lined up perfect, you're not gonna break a shaft or wear out a bearing prematurely or anything like that. Alright, I got the sucker on here. I did try it out already. Seems to work pretty good. So my flange was 1/2 inch because that's what I had when I made it. But I figured I'd only need 1/4 inch for the sides here. So that's what I used. So let me jump in and give it a run for you here. So it will go backwards and forward, left and right. That's the way you want it to go. Well, it was a pretty simple build. Man, the white balance on this is trash. So it's a pretty simple build overall. You see I didn't worry too much about measuring or getting anything perfect. It doesn't need to be. So I'm not going to go to the work on that. Especially something as simple as this is really not going to get a ton of use. I'll probably till up about a 1/2 acre with this thing this year. I can't see me doing more than a couple acres total with this thing by the time I'm dead. So it doesn't need a ton of perfect in it. I just want something I can use right now. And I think that's what I got. So I gotta go get some food because it's lunchtime. And then I'll roll this thing outside and do some tilling and we'll see how it does. Well, honestly, I didn't think it was going to work so well. I figured it would work, but this is really good. It's going real fast. All that was 27 minutes. That amount of work with the walk behind would have taken me probably 3, 4, 5 hours, something like that. It had been a long time, and it wouldn't have came out near as good. So this project is definitely well worth doing. Thanks for watching.